The most effective WordPress security is accomplished through plugins, and there are a few plugins of which you need to be aware. The first is Better WP Security, and it performs a lot of tasks one may not think to perform if trying to manually harden WordPress, or not even be capable of doing without some heavy code modifications. It changes the URLs for the WordPress dashboard. That means when an attacker's script tries to hit the wplogin.php page or wp-admin, they don't get anywhere to try to log in. It can rename the admin account, which is simply one of the best things you can do against bot-type attacks. It changes the ID on the user with the ID of 1. That user is normally an administrator, so hackers know they can often try to emulate an administrator by manipulating the URLs that contain the user ID. It removes login error messages, which removes any information an attacker could get from an invalid login. For instance, sometimes you'll see login scripts that will report whether you've got the username or the password wrong. You don't want to give an attacker any of that information, because if he knows he has one right, then he knows he only has to work on finding the other. But it can also help protect our site in a more active way. It can scan our site to find vulnerabilities and fix them automatically. It bans bots and other abusive connections. It bans suspicious or known malicious user agents. It bans traffic from any host that has too many invalid login attempts. This is an important one. Many of those botnets I mentioned in the last video will have a great deal of invalid login attempts, and this can ban all those bots simply based on their invalid login attempts. You can force people with a specified minimum role to use strong passwords. I wish WordPress did this natively. This is one of the best things you can do for your site's security. Another interesting feature it has is monitoring the file system for unauthorized changes. There are lots of attacks that include the attacker uploading some files that give him further access to your file system and your account on the web server. Better WP Security can monitor for this and notify you when it finds something odd. It can also force an SSL connection for only admin pages or all pages. It does a lot more, as you can see, but I thought these were the highlight points. It should be said though that the scanning features and Better WP Security can consume lots of memory. Most web hosting accounts have the memory to handle it, but you may be running other sites or services that may already be using that memory. So be aware that you might need to monitor the load this plugin creates. Since it makes so many changes to WordPress in the database, you should really back up before installing this one. Once you install it, there's no going back to the way things were. Another plugin you might want to use in conjunction with Better WP Security is Bulletproof Security. It takes care of some of the more advanced attacks that an attacker can perform. It monitors for database injection, cross-site scripting, code injection, and some other even more confusing and unfamiliar security terms. Just know that this plugin protects your data and your comments from succumbing to the whims of hackers who would try to get data about not only your site, but your readers as well. As I said before, these plugins can use a lot of memory, so be certain that your account has enough memory to handle the load, or your web hosting provider may suspend your account or charge you a fee. We'll continue looking at WordPress security plugins in our next video.